All right, man, before we get into this video right here, this audio of former BMF member Blue Divinci talking about whether or not he did snitch. I want y'all to do me a favor. Hit the like button and text this video to one person. Let's get it. Here's Blue Divinci.
And most of the people was indicted in 2005. You know, there wasn't any information out on me 2000 or 2003, 2004. Um, you know, I believe my information was backdated and finagled to get an indictment on me. If you notice, I didn't get indicted until like a whole year and some change later, I believe, after the first wave of indictments came out, because they had to still build a case against me because I'm a fucking entertainer. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I had to admit to some shit that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can go ahead and get my admission of guilt in a timely manner. All of these things play a part in sentencing. You know what I'm saying? And what, you know, what they offer you. You know, it was my first offense, and when I say cooperated, I don't mean cooperate in a snitch or a rat manner, but when you use the correct terms, to be eligible for a safety valve is what you could be eligible for with your first offense. You know, you can't have violence. It's a bunch of stipulations, but you have to cooperate in a timely manner. Cooperating means not fighting, not telling on somebody. So I want to make that clear so people understand. This is not telling on someone else to get someone else time, but this is admitting guilt in a timely manner, meaning that you didn't jump up and say, fuck that, I didn't do it, I'm finna go fight and I'm taking this shit to trial. You feel me? And then when you see some evidence come out, you're like, oh, all right, well, forget it then. I'm going to just go ahead and admit guilt. See, I didn't do none of that shit. I was like, yo, all right, this is what they said I did. This is what I did. So give me my time. How much time am I going to get? Let me work me out something, some deal. Give me some action. This is my first offense. I've never been in prison. This is some bullshit, number two. This guy that you said whatever he said about me is facing 57 years and two bodies or something. Like, come on, be serious. But y'all finna try to give me 17 years? All right, matter of fact, hurry up. Stop the tape. Yeah, I did it. So just give me the time and then let's go. You know what I'm saying? But you know, everything worked out good for me. You know what I'm saying? I was able to receive a role adjustment at my sentencing. You know, and not to even get into all that long played out shit, but at the end of the day, nigga, during my sentencing, they adjusted my role from an average role to a minor role. I had an open-ended plea, meaning I wasn't subjected to the mandatory minimum of 10 years that my charge carried. You know, and the way that my attorney, the way that my team put my plea together was perfect. And it's what enabled me to come from 10 years down to 5 years and 4 months. You know what I'm saying? I had an open-ended plea, which didn't have me capped off. I was awarded the safety valve, and then I also was awarded a point reduction for a role change from average role to minor role. And that's how I came off slick with the time that I did get, you know what I'm saying, which I'm still to this day, I'm very grateful for, you know what I'm saying. They held me responsible. They tried to hold me responsible for 150 kilos or more. And it was, I'm trying to think of the actual fucking charge was distribution with intent. They just gave me the max. That's a max amount of drugs that they can charge you with. Like they're basically like anything over 150, fuck it. But you know, at the end of the day, I came out of that. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't hold me responsible for that because of where they held me on the family tree. You know, you had the DEA's family tree, and I was somewhere on the bottom of that shit with the drivers and shit. You know, because they added me so late. They added me at the end. Once they was getting all the information from the real rats, they didn't have the information on me. They added me at the end, and then they pulled somebody that was trying to get all that time cut, the William Marshall character, and he went in and I believe backdated some statements, because how it happened was, you know, when we moved for the role adjustment at my sentencing, the prosecution went for a recess, and they came back and tried to charge me a 924G, I believe, for a firearm that didn't exist. And they said that all the houses that they raided had guns in them, but they never raided my house. And my house was one of the houses in question. in which William Marshall said that he's seen me receive 80 to 100 kilos on at least 6 occasions. And one occasion he remembered in particular, which was a party that I had for with all my family and rappers and stuff there, like drugs would be there, right? But it was for 4th of July, I believe, 2003. And that's what really stung me. That's what got me my indictment, him in these statements. But when the judge asked, well, which firearms were found in Mr. McKnight's house when it was raided? And the prosecution had to say, well, Mr. McKnight's house was never raided. That threw the judge for a loop. She's like, well, all the time I've been on the bench, if you got a guy that comes and talk about 5 houses in question with multi-kilogram shipments coming to each house, every house gets raided. So how come Mr. McKnight's house, which is me, how come his house was never raided? And this man said there was, close to 500 keys that he saw come through this house.
You able to show your face everywhere. You're not going to read Big Meech and robbed the Mexicans over here, or we killed the Colombians, or we took something from the Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? That's the dude got a hat, or he got boundaries. I can go anywhere on the planet and not worry about nothing. Me and anybody that's from BMF. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I can go to the suburbs anywhere, or I can go to any ghetto. A lot of dudes can't do that, man. They don't know that. They don't know that.
That's what it is to be a cultural icon, like
yeah,
real.
And I work hard though. I work hard. You know,
like you are like the real. The way that this Tony Montana character influenced these kids.
Yeah, even myself. Yeah.
But the way that has impacted them, you have impacted them. Only more so because you're not an actor playing a part.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm real life.
You actualize this shit.
Yeah.
You made this shit reality.
Yeah.
They don't have the mental capacity to be able to process that type of shit, man. Like they really, that's some of the shit I was trying to say back then. You know what I mean? I was like, they don't have the mental capacity to really ascertain what you're doing right now.
But when you doing it, even when you doing it, it's like, it's one thing when you grow up and you watching people doing it and you're trying to learn from other people's mistakes. But when you become the one, that's why I couldn't take off, like you said. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't I couldn't went nowhere and with a bunch of millions and hid. You know what I'm saying? Because I became the one. So you know what I'm saying? I become the one. So it's like I'm the one setting precedents everywhere. Now I'm feeling like I made it, Cabario. I'm looking up. All my friends are mostly entertainers. I still got street friends. Don't get me wrong. But all my friends, I'm in the entertainment door. I'm in that realm now. Now I'm finna start making a lot of legitimate money, and the feds just came and snatched me up. You know what I'm saying? And being that I got a letter from somebody saying that basically because I never changed my address from being Detroit, Michigan, is the reason why Michigan could snatch me up and indict me. You see what I'm saying?
What?
Hold on one second. Hold on. Hello?
Yeah, I mean,
Hello? Yeah. Yeah, so that's what, and I didn't even know that. I just found that out in a letter, like I'm saying. But
you just found that out when?
Tonight, in a letter, somebody wrote me.
What?
Yeah, in a letter somebody wrote me. But, I couldn't do it. If I was for self, I could have did that. I could have grabbed me a bunch of millions and been on somewhere where you can't be extradited. But that wasn't what I was out for. I've already played the illegal game to the fullest, so now I was trying to legitimize me and the whole family. I mean, I was 37 years old when I got picked up, so I was slowing down anyway as far as I was getting kind of tired. But when you the face of the family, that's the one thing that I was starting to learn. Even at 37 years old, even though I'm feeling old because I've been doing it so long, like I was getting kind of tired. You know me, I'm popping pills, smoking weed, drinking, and partying, freaking, getting money, got whips going up and down the road. You know, I'm doing everything to try to make this family successful, and everything we do look big. Everything we do gotta look big. You know what I'm saying? And I think for real, I mean, not like Cash Money, but they probably wouldn't have been what they was if we was out there. You know what they are now if we was out there. You know what I'm saying? Or we would have all been a part of something together or something. But because they weren't that big, they wasn't as big as they are now when we were out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he just been Lil Wayne, and he was the president of nothing when I was out there. You know what I'm saying? He was the president, but the president of nothing. Blue was the president of Bmf Entertainment off the rip once I got it legitimized. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I guess the government just couldn't, you know, with the things that transpired, you know, with the different situations after certain clubs, and then they just started putting anybody in black, whatever they did wrong, and it was BMF. That they just started painting a picture to say that they needed to get us off the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that was, you know, I've seen it happen so many times that I knew the blueprint, I knew the move. I've seen it happen so many times before.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it. I remember I remember in 2003 we talked about it before that night. That happened, man. Just so happened you went to Magic City that night. You remember that?
Yeah. You remember, huh?
Yeah. Oh, man, come on, man. My memory is good, man. Yeah. My memory is good. One thing, you know, drugs enhance you, some of them. You just can't overdo them, man. You know what I'm saying? But they enhance. Man, I remember everything, man. All that, you lose all your brain cells from smoking weed, that's a fairy tale. I know people 90, down there 100 years old are still smoking, and they remember a lot of shit. But, you know, I mean, I remember back then, them talks we had. I mean, shoot, you remember. You was right there in the midst, but you was never in harm's way. Nobody I ever have around me that's close to the family I ever put in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know how people back in the past, you know, they might be hanging out. In the 80s, you might be hanging out with a rapper or somebody, and the man got 2-3 bricks in the house, which you never supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to. I'm not going to be hanging out with Puff and I got 100 bricks in the basement. You know what I'm saying? And be at the house together. No, you don't do that. You don't mix the two. You know what I'm saying? And I learned how to do that very well. And that's why none of my friends fell with me, or they couldn't even though they tried to, you know, insinuate. I used to get letters insinuating. Don't you think it's funny that most of the dudes that been around Puff got life sentences, or they doing it? Listen, man, that man ain't had nothing to do with what I was doing, okay? We enjoyed each other, having fun, partying, man, and we was friends, that's it. He ain't had nothing to do with what I done wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or my brother done wrong. No entertainment had nothing to do with what we did wrong. You know what I'm saying? On that side of law. You know, but they try to insinuate a difference. You know, just like the Craig Pettis dude, man. Come on, man. How can you put me with this dude? I'm bigger than any plug I ever had, man. I never messed with this dude ever in life, man. I don't know him. We might have ran across each other's path. I'm not saying that we maybe didn't run across each other's path, but I don't remember it. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely never did no business illegally together. You know what I'm saying? We never done no business. I never shot with this man out of Memphis, Tennessee. I never went to Memphis for a plug. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You know, I never done that, man. I don't even know where they come up with that, man. And then the guy's a rat, man. He's been working for the feds for 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? Cooperate. So you can look at my paperwork, man. My paperwork, if I was ratting, it'd be on CNN. You know what I mean?
You better believe it, my nigga.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you got some people insinuate, oh, Big Meech telling on Mexicans. How? Look on Wikipedia. It'll tell you Daniel Correll out of L.A., he telling on me. If I had went to trial, he's saying I used to buy 500 at a time from it. You go on Wikipedia and pull it up. It got his face on there. Don't only look at the black rats like Doc and Blanco and all and E. Look at